evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this week's edition of the Thursday Talk, the emerging trends and demands and technology in baking. IHM Aurangabad, in association with our media partners, Today's Traveler. The baking industry in India is blooming at a very fast rate. The industry has seen growth and demand in every part of the country. It is estimated that the bakery sector will grow at a compound annual growth rate of 8.5% to reach a value of $12.39 billion by 2026. The COVID 19 pandemic has increased the number of home bakers and the number is on the rise. Today, we would be discussing about the emerging demand, technology, and trends in the baking industry. The panel today consists of young entrepreneurs and chefs who will share their experience and insights about the happening in the baking industry, which will include contemporary techniques in baking, scaling up the bakery business, the demand of the French and European pastries, styles of presentations, ingredient and baking trends, and the elements of setting up the bakery business. Without further ado, let me introduce you to the panelist. Our first panelist, Akshay Harwani, is the head of bakery business development at Manohar Dairy and Restaurant. He has a keen interest in bakery and pastry and has initiated a bakery and pastry setup and has taken it to the great success. He is from the batch 2015 from IHM Aurangabad. May I request Akshay to share with us his journey and how life after IHM has been. Over to you, Akshay.
Uh, Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank Chef Marwad for giving me an opportunity to speak on this portal. And I'm really thankful that there are people who always support me in this kind of profession. So I would want to start first, explain myself about myself, like how I've started. So I've started my college in year 2011, 2015. After that, I worked for around 1.5 year in one of the five-star facilities in Bombay. For 1 year, I worked in Western Mumbai Garden City, and after that, I worked for 8 months in the central factory unit of Theobroma Foods Private Limited, Bombay. After that, I got a chance to do a professional pastry course from Farandi, Paris. And after that, as soon as I got back from the institute, I realized that my dad already has an eggless unit established here. He established this unit in 2005 with a very with a pretty good investment at that time. And then my opportunity was to make everything that I learned with egg over there. I had to change everything to eggless, which is a pretty tough job, and it's expensive. So I would want to share certain things that I learned from there after some time, like as chef progresses me to do. Thank you, chef. Thank you.
That was really inspirational, Akshay. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. Your insights and experience of the business will certainly inspire many people. Our next panelist, Ms. Shubhi Kumar, is a sous chef at Miam Patisserie, New Delhi. She has also completed her diploma from École Nationale Supérieure Patisserie from Isanjo, France, offered by the Dukas International. And she is from the class of 2019 of IHM. So, may I request Shubhi to share with us her journey in the so far and your fondest memory of the college?
Thank you so much, first of all, for this beautiful opportunity given to me by IHM Aurangabad. This is mm, is one of the biggest opportunities to speak about myself on such a platform, which means a lot. Thank you for that. And then, yes, I am an alumni of IHM Aurangabad myself. After that, I completed my internship as a line cook in Taj Canton Place, San Francisco. It's a two Michelin star restaurant under Chef Shri and his entire team. From there, I was really passionate about pastry since, I guess, since my school days, and then I got a clear perspective of pastry in college as well. So after that, I went to Isaju. I did my French pastry arts diploma there, and from there, I started as an intern with Chef Bani at Miam Patisserie in Delhi. But soon after 4 months, I was a sous chef there. Now I've been leading a team with Chef Bani, and it's been nothing but overwhelming experience. It's been the most learning experience for me. So my role over there is to manage people, manage all the operations, the kitchen operations, assist everyone, and yeah. So it's been a very overwhelming. But yes, I'm pulling it off, and I'm so proud of myself. And thankful to Chef Bani for giving me such a great opportunity to be her right hand and to give and to have such a and to have such faith in me that she can leave the kitchen in my hands.
You are a true example of a leader, and we are all proud of you. You're already a role model
Thank you
with
so much, Chef.
so many IHM students actually joining you as an
Yes.
intern.
So
Okay,
I
so
have
if you
like couple of interns from IHM Aurangabad. That
please, Shubhi,
and they all of them are wonderful. All of them are wonderful. Like one thing I'm very sure about is IHM kind of in him like it kind of imbibes you with so many wonderful qualities and makes you such a professional. Like after walking out from that college, like I went out as a kid. I came back as a professional. Like I was ready to enter the industry as a professional. I still remember those days when we were training at Vivanta Taj in in Aurangabad versus now where we are. It's it's a black and white situation totally. It's a
great,
completely.
great, Shubhi. We are all proud of you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Our next panelist, Miss Rachi Gupta, is a proud owner and founder of creative director of the Bread Bar. Rachi too has a diploma from ENSP and has designed her own bread bar. She is from the class of 2020. So I would like to ask Rachi to share a few moments or words about your journey and motivation for being an entrepreneur.
Uh, Thank you, Chef, for the lovely introduction. And this is a very wonderful opportunity for me as well. Um, I Once I left IHM Aurangabad, I went for my internship to Spain, and I was at Azur Mendi there. It's a three Michelin star restaurant. I came back pretty soon before the COVID, and I was pretty unwell, so I was working. I was baking at home for my family, and I realized that there was a market deficit, and not many people were doing artisanal products from home or even near where I lived. So that motivated me to start something on my own, and that's when I started researching for the bread bar. And today I'm managing a team of 5 people, and like managing operations, orders, everything. So it's been a great start. I hope to grow bigger.
It was wonderful, Rachi. Um, Due to some personal reasons, our fourth panelist, Mr. Rithvik Anantharaman, wasn't able to join the discussion. So we would take the discussion ahead now. It is really proud moment for all of us at IHMA, seeing you all grow and holding the flag of IHMA high in the industry. You are all our ambassadors. Thank you for taking your time out and being with us today. Let us now move on to the discussion. The format for today's this webinar would be a round of moderated questions to each panelist for the first 30 minutes, after which the remaining time, the floor would be open to a live audience question and answer session. So I would request the audience to type your questions in the chat box. So my first question is for Akshay. So Akshay, what are the contemporary techniques that the Indian bakers of today must know? And the second part is what have been your guiding principle in developing and scaling up a bakery business like Manohar Foods?
Uh, Chef, first I would like to just start by saying the only thing that requires a business to be successful is giving your customers the fresh cakes, fresh biscuits, everything that is made fresh and sold will give will give good quality to the customer. So I would actually say the meaning of bakery is every day you make fresh in the morning, you sell at night, you make fresh in the morning. That's how people in the earlier history they used to do it. When they used to had a wooden oven and everything, they started with making fresh. But now after having a lot of preservatives and everything, we can extend the shelf life. But still I focus on making everything fresh and selling it. And second of all, the other thing that is important, like there are many techniques that I can actually share with you all, is that, like for an example, if you're running a pastry unit, the only thing that you can say is that you can you can even stamp your cakes. Like for an example, if your cake is made at 1 p.m. by this chef at this time, you can create an SOP saying that these cakes will exist for 48 hours in my counter. Generally what happens is cakes are have a shelf life of around 5 days if stored in a proper refrigerator. But when you're handling a shop, that means customer is paying you 600 to 700 rupees a kg from his hard earned money. He's giving that money to you, and it's your responsibility to give him fresh. The moment you give him fresh cakes, fresh breads and fresh everything, your sales will automatically go up high, because customer, when he pays you money, expects that much of freshness in your unit. This was one of the number one point. And second of all, Shiv, what I personally feel in like handling a unit is you have to take all the feedbacks very seriously. For example, these days there are a lot of softwares that have come in. You can record the customer's data. You can take in which customer came, what cake did she order, when is her birthday, when is her anniversary. You can actually say कि यार this date I miss cake 2 दिन पहले I want to send a message. You can do that. So by this what happens is once you have a data, you can actually check कि you know what is right or what is wrong. You can actually send a message. You can actually do this by getting those good softwares. Like currently we're using Posist, so in that we are recording customers data so that everything becomes in sync with us. And second of all, what I personally feel in order to take everything is the feedbacks. Make sure that you promise yourself that you take at least 10 feedbacks every day. Either you or your senior manager of your shop or your company will take feedbacks to let you know that either you are doing a good job or there is certain improvement that you need. And I must say, you cannot be perfect all the time. You cannot be perfect all the time. Third of all, what I have done in my organization is that I have created certain kind of a motivation for the employees that are making the desserts and the cakes for us. You need to give them a target that chef, yesterday we made around 125 kg cakes, 125 cakes, we want to take this to 185 kg. You don't need to you don't need to mention the amount, but you can actually tell them that this much is the quantity. We have to create a target of selling around 250 cakes, 200 cakes. You have to give them a good, and you have to actually share with them. You have to motivate them that yes, this is the target, then you need to preset it. And then you can actually you can motivate them. The moment you find that motivating factor, that yes, you are motivating him, you are teaching him. Like I learn a lot from Levon Institute of Bangalore. Like after graduating from IHMA, I eventually learn a lot in my business. So I take classes from them. I eventually ask my chefs who are working with me to sit with me. They are not even comfortable with language, but I still sit with them, explain them in English, and tell them how is this made, so that they learn and they feel motivated, because they are living in that small room since years. I personally feel it's my responsibility to motivate them, to teach them, to take their knowledge to another level. Fourth of all, what I would want to say is that when I did my course from Farandi, Paris, when I came back, I actually realized that the menus that I learned there, the things that I learned there, when I got those things into this place, and Bhopal is a three-tier city, right? So Bhopal, there you need to educate them. So I tried educating them. What is a sourdough bread? What does it do? It's a healthy bread. It doesn't have a sugar in it. It is only salt. It is pre-fermented. It is heated at a high temperature. So you start explaining to them. That's how the sale of sourdough breads goes. But then here, when I came back, I realized that here in India, people drink tea, coffee more than anything. So you have to get inside the day-to-day routine, like even in any cake shop and any bakery. The thing that you need to maintain is asking your guests to come every day to me. You should be their bread partner. Like, I want Chef Anand Singh Marwad to come he's my customer. I want him to come every day. I want Miam here and other things every day. I want Shubhi ji to be a part of it. So what I can do is I can give them what they like. I can give them tosh. I can give them the regular rusk, which is the highest selling product volume. If you would see all the papers in like Economic Times and you read them, post COVID, the packaging industry has gone up so high by around, I would say, 50%. So high. Why not giving them certain things so that giving them certain things which they love, and actually when you realize that you are investing into packaged food, your production goes up. Everything is like when your production goes up, your cost goes down, you make profit. Your factory is cleared from their stock. You sell those products, you make money, and that's how it is done. And fifth of all, what I have done is, what I would actually say, the only reason, according to my experiences, I've spoken to a lot of, I've been trained under one of the finest chefs in IHMA, Chef Anandsingh Marwad. I've worked under one of the finest business schools in India, and he also actually just believes in controlling, maintaining the SOPs, like if you can maintain those wastage, with the wastage only you can make money. I'll give you a small example. Everyone, Rachi ji, Shubhi ji, I'll give you a small example. Is that earlier when I had joined, so I did not know. So after learning from Chef Kainaz's unit, when I came back, I actually realized that she concentrates a lot into the wastage part. And I realized that she makes money only through reducing wastage. So when I came back, I realized that yeah, this is true. So I should implement this. So earlier in my unit, when we had a unit, so we used to make those sponge trays in those big rectangular trays, 60 by 40 trays. So what used to happen, like if some customer wants a half kg cake or 1 kg cake, one person took the ring, he cut it into small pieces and started making it. So you end up losing at least 150 grams of that batch. So imagine one tray, 150 grams, you have 20 trays, 3 kg wastage every day. 1 kg sponge cost, if you would calculate, is around 80 rupees a kg, 240 rupees kg you lost in the factory unit only. Imagine the wastage is 1 day wastage into 30 will contribute to your monthly wastage, which has to be controlled because wastage is a crucial. If you waste sponge, that means you have wasted the powder, you have wasted the premix, you have wasted everything. So what I learned, I just got those half kg one, although it's not a major change, one half kg, 1 kg mold, you make it and you sell it. So the wastage of the entire sponge, I would say not 0%, because you cannot have 0% wastage. You have to have some wastage in bakery. I would say 5%, but I actually reduced that wastage from 50% to around, I would say 12%, 10%. I think that's where the money goes. That's where the thing, you should realize that, sir, this is where it is wrong and we should work it out. And in order to scale up, like how I have scaled up the business, is that I realized that there are two aggregators, that is Swiggy and Zomato. I realized that the sales of the post COVID, many people are eating at home. They don't want to come out because they're scared of virus and everything, and they want everything. So we tied up with them. Actually, we were tied up before only, but we never focused more on cakes. So what we did was I actually asked them to make every menu online. Like if customer wants to order half kg hazelnut cake, he orders it, he pays it online, we get an order. Like the moment it comes to the order directly goes to the chef, to the factory, and within that 20 minutes, the the cakes that are there in the minus temperature, within 2 minutes, that you can take it out, you can use a blowtorch, you can take out the ring, and you can glaze the cakes and you can send it to them. I believe this is the freshest cakes that you can ever give it to the customers. I don't find any bakeries to give that level of cakes that what I am doing. Like we are doing around 25 to 30 kgs of 20 30 numbers of cakes per shop. We have three shops here. So we're doing around 50 to 70, 60, 50 to 60 cakes every day. So our things have been going pretty good for us in terms of cakes.
Great.
And also, I would actually just share one thing with you all in the portal here. Like, I believe without staff, without the skilled labor, you're nothing. So what we did post COVID is, like, when we realized that things have not been good for like there was no business, but we still, post COVID, we gave them the 100% salaries that they deserve, because it's just not that the moment they are working and you give them money, and you have to even support them during their bad times. Suppose, if there is someone ill in their family, you can give them 15,000, 20,000 for to them, and you can eventually ask them, yeah, you can cut 2,000 rupees, which gives them a flexibility. The moment, I believe the small key of this is you take care of them, and they'll treat you like a king, because those guys have come to make money, and you have to just offer them any kind of support, like what we can offer them. Our cash, we have a, like, for us, we have a business we have a cash running business. For giving that employee 5,000 rupees, it's very easy for us. His family will be saved. So in short, what I would like to share, Chef Marwad and Rachi ji, Shubhi ji, is that you need to just give them, support them during their tough times, and they will be there with you. They will be
Great.
there
Thank
with
you.
you through thick and strong. This is what I would say. That this is what I have learned from my father, Mr. Manohar Harwani, and Mr. Murli Harwani. They have done this thing throughout their entire life. This is a 50-year-old brand, and I
Great.
am their son. So I
Yes.
have learned this from my fathers, and my father used to give them all the facilities. So I learned from him that you support them during their tough times, and with the products, if you make them with a good intention, they'll come out good. No one can. Why would they intentionally not make a good product?
Right.
My question to everyone is, they won't do it. So that's how I personally brief them. I have people working under me who is a very senior chef. I tell them my feelings, that I want this kind of product, and they support me, because you have to be with them. You cannot just say कि नहीं यार ये तू ही करेगा, ये तेरा काम है. No, ये उस्ताद, आपको शेफ क्या सपोर्ट चाहिए, आपको क्या चाहिए, आप मेरे को बताइए. आपको, और one more thing is, Chef Marwad, I've learned this from you, and even from Farandi, Chef Nicola, Chef Florent, I don't know, there were so many chefs that it's been 2 3 years that, is that use the one of the finest ingredients, no matter the cost. Normal butter cost you 400 rupees. Use a dry butter from LN, where pay them 1,300 rupees a kg. Call for a 20 kg stock. Pay them 26,000 money. Use those materials and give a good product. Give a good
Great.
product, and customer is ready to pay you the money. Yeah.
Right.
And also, you need to support them. You need to give them one of the finest equipments that they have. You need to give them a good oven. So like, I've got my oven imported from Germany. I have got my things. I invest in a good technology. Like, if you invest in a good oven, that will give you good yield, that you'll return. You'll make your money through that oven only. That oven will save the money of your light, gas, everything, and that will give you money. So
Great.
invest in a good oven, invest in those things, that make you, that last long. That's what I would like to share, Chef Marwad. And if your kitchen is
Thank you.
reasonably controlled, if your
Yeah.
kitchen is reasonably controlled,
Thank
you
you,
can do
Akshay.
wonder.
That was really
Thank you, Chef.
inspiring, and I'm very sure that people who are watching are taking cues from here. And so freshness, giving good ingredients, training the staff, and being with the staff, and also um, supporting them are some of the key fundas that Akshay shared with us. Thank you for that, Akshay. I would now move on to the next panelist. Shubhi, our next question is to you. As a sous chef at a bakery that specializes in French pastry and neoclassical style of presentation, what have been your key learning experiences till date? And what is your advice to the home bakers with respect to maintaining quality and cost?
Okay, thank you for the question. First of all, the thing that I'll start with, the one thing that I really learned at IHMA was, I think it was in my first year F&B class. Arun sir said this, and it stuck by me like till date, and I think it will for the rest of my life, that you only and only need to focus on the process and the result will be of your choosing. Like the day you decide that you want to have this and you only focus on that and you just don't care about the process and your path towards it, it's not going to be that. It's just going to be vis-a-vis of what you expect. So, taking this as my base, yes, I always wanted to become a great chef, good chef, nice chef, every good adjective that I've always wished for. But to be honest, after learning French pastry from France, my eyes were wide opened to what I thought pastry is to versus what it actually is. And then coming back to India and then finding a place where I can work to, and so at the end of the day, no matter how much theoretical knowledge you have, it is of no use until unless you can actually apply it. Like it can just stay with you, but there is no point of it because if you're not sharing it, you're not learning more. That's what I personally feel. The more you share, the more you learn. So at Miam Patisserie, I was really lucky that Chef Bani got me on board as an intern, and over there I realized that what I actually learned in France to what I'm actually doing here, it's it's kind of different. And I was taken aback, and I was like, why? Now, why is simply because of the clientele, the market, Indian market. So there are so many aspects that we have to kind of refurbish according to the market that we focus upon. So one thing for all the home bakers out there is simply that you really need to choose your market. You need to choose your clientele that you're targeting. You need to have your all your strategies in place to how you're going to strategize your products, how you're going to boost your sales, how will you market out everything to your liking, and because at the end of the day, no matter how good of a no matter how good your products are, no matter how great you are, if you cannot market it in today's time, you cannot do the business. You cannot survive without a good marketing, a good team, a good a good kitchen, like all the basic things. Like you really need all of them. So one more thing that I have like in place, like challenges I face, but for them, I have one solution. They're like three P's of being a pastry chef, which is passion. If you're passionate enough, there is nothing that can ever stop you. Nothing ever can stop you. You need to have that passion because you cannot go through those 20-hour shifts, 17-hour shifts without standing, like without being passionate enough or having like a zero work-life balance. But at the same time, if you're passionate enough, you will survive it because at the end of the day, you love what you do. And then being patient. Patience is the key. And I'm still not a very patient chef, to be honest. I'm not that patient, but every day I realize that being patient is so important, whether it is unfolding a cake, whether it is dealing with your colleagues, whether it is waiting for something to bake, or whether it is anything in this industry, hospitality industry, and especially with a chef, you need to have that patience. So I like these are the challenges that I face, and I know like these are the solutions to them. And then the third is the persistence. Like you need to be consistent. You need to like every day when you go to work or every day when you make something, you need to make sure it is pitch perfect. There is not even a single chance where you feel like, no, today it's gonna be like 15% less. No, that's not gonna happen. You need to give out your 120%, 30% extra of every percent. Why? Because there is someone else. It's their special day. It's their birthday. That's like one thing about pastries is that people only remember you for happiness. We want to celebrate birthdays and everything. So in those days, you need to make sure that you're actually a part of someone else's huge celebration, and you have to make sure that whatever you turn out, you have to just make sure that it's perfect, like just perfect. One thing is that then make keeping up with the trends. You always have to continuously keep up with the trends because the more you kind of get like stuck in your comfort zone, that is when you're going out of the business or out of the league. That's what I. This is my opinion personally. And other than that, what I feel is like post COVID, what I saw with Miam's growth is I've seen Miam's growth say when it was 6 to 7 cakes a day to now when it is almost 80 to 100 cakes a day. So I've seen that growth, and I've seen the growth which is in front of my eyes to what my days as an intern was to now handling the entire team, working with Chef Bani. It's a huge change. It's like absolutely a different dynamics of the working environment To which I realized that you really need to be adaptive of your working environment, of your current environment. Like post-COVID situation has like with examples of Miam, I'll tell you that we were a cafe, but now then we realized that of course during COVID, post-COVID, nobody will come out. We turned into a cloud kitchen. That shift to then refurbishing the entire business model to becoming a cloud kitchen, then incorporating certain strategies to boost up the sales and getting new departments in, for example, puff. So here I'll talk about what home bakers can really, really be careful about is controlling wastage, as even Akshay said, that it is important. You cannot be a successful business if you do not focus on your wastage. Like for example, I know we started with puff section and we started with French hearts and we were so excited, so happy. But then later, say approximately say 3-4 days or a week later, we realized that we had left with so much of excess scrap dough and the trimmings of the French hearts. And what we're gonna do about it? So I discussed it with Chef Bani and we came up with a funda of chocolate galette, which is chocolate ganache, your scrap from the French heart dough. And it is amazing, like you are making the best out of the waste product, and it is amazing, like you are controlling your wastage, you're making money out of it. So for all the home bakers out there, what they really need to focus on having their own ground, standing their own ground, having their own strategies in place, having their own style in order to be successful, and at the same time controlling the wastage, which can only be done if you plan to do like you make orders only and only when they're order, like made to order. Like the more you do like storage of stuff, you never know what's gonna happen 2 days later. Like you cannot forecast anything in such an environment. You need to do made to order. In made to order concept, basically the things happen like everything is in your control. You have your SOP, which is a standard operating procedure in place. You have all your recipes weighed out. You have everything designed to what kind of a cake or XYZ thing that your client has ordered. And along with that, I feel like with the with this, sorry, I'm just stumbling because I'm a little nervous, which is okay. And then I also feel with the fact that decision making on deciding on when to say no and when to say yes, because you cannot say yes to everything and you cannot say no to everything. So you need to have your decisions intact because your choice affects your business at the end of the day. Then also I would like to talk about the fact that the importance of the quality of ingredients which helps in the consistency. So Miam, for now I know, and I know Chef Bani, their recipes, their products, their ingredients haven't changed since the day the brand started. And I think that is where she created a ground for Miam and for its standards that they're so high. Why? Because they haven't changed. There is not even a single chance that anyone would ever play with the quality. Quality is the utmost importance because your client is giving out everything to you and they're placing full faith in you in order to have the product that they ever wished for or that you marketed. So for that, consistency is very important. And I also believe that using the right quality of ingredient is very important. No matter whatever your clientele is, whether you want to use Kuvacha chocolate or you want to use compound chocolate for the matter of fact, every type, every category has a best brand to use. And it would be in your pockets. It's not as if you just started, you want to be like, oh my God, I will start with this. No, grow gradually. You don't have to aim for skies immediately. Start gradually and things will fall into place for sure. Just be consistent, be patient, and keep adapting to the current market situation and always listen out to your clients. And most importantly, with the fact like after like my role at Miam is basically to manage the volume, people and quality, and at the same time manage all the festivals and planning and stuff like that. So here I've realized that being a chef is not just about cooking. Like I'm sorry, like I know there are days where I enter the kitchen and like for example Rakhi, like Rakhi, Diwali, these are huge festivals in India. And you enter the kitchen and you feel like, yeah, you will bake. But no, there is so much planning, so much decision making, so many other aspects of being a chef which are like crazy. And now I'm so glad that I learned all of them in IIT Aurangabad, because I remember being a student, I used to think to myself, that why am I doing all this? Like, why am I supposed to? Why should I care about marketing? Why should I care about HR? Like, I'm here to cook. No, like. I just need to I want my baking practicals to be there. No, like why should I study all this? But I'm so glad I did all of that. And I'm so glad I took each and every class so seriously, every person so seriously, because what I am today is because of all of that, and of all the people who have invested in me, who've always been there for me through thick and thin. So I think yes, that's about it.
That was amazing, Shubhi. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and knowledge and experience with us. So
Thank you.
basically, passion, patience, and perfections are the three keys that you mentioned. And for the home bakers, you also said to be organized, and choose their things wisely. Also, take the ingredients very seriously, because
Yes,
consistency is the key.
very
So
exactly.
I'm very sure the viewers are taking all these things in. They are taking the cues from the discussion. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So our
Thank you so
next
much.
panelist, Miss Rachi. Um, so I have a question for you, Rashi. First of all, congratulations on your um, the bread bar being featured in the GQ and Vogue magazine. So the question is related to the same. Having had your bakery featured in GQ and Vogue magazines, what are the some ingredients and baking trends to watch out for in the second half of 2021? And the second question is, what are the some key elements to look out for while planning or setting up a concept like the bread bar?
Um, so, in my opinion, the biggest baking trend to watch out for in 2021 would definitely be healthy snacking. Like post COVID, the pandemic has really changed our lifestyle and how everyone is becoming conscious of what we eat and how we um, uh, work out, or even like, so healthy snacks are selling the most according to me. So some of the ingredients that the customers are very open to try are gluten-free alternatives like millets like ragi and jawar, refined sugar-free alternatives such as honey, dates, and jaggery. um, Often these customers are looking for alternatives such as even small portion sizes with like guilt-free indulgences. So like customers are often looking for like smaller portion sizes where like they don't feel guilty about eating a small piece of cake, but at the same time they're happy that they're eating like a cake. And the lockdown has often made people start reading what the products are, like read labels, read where their food is
Mm.
coming from, and who's preparing it. So like there's starting to be transparency from like the kitchen, or like from where the food is coming from. So it's become good for like a lot of us who are putting in effort and using good quality ingredients. So like how like we aren't customers want products that don't have preservatives. They want products that have high quality ingredients. But again, there's a different category of clients that we all cater to. So like the customers that want those products will come and get them. I think another trend that is definitely catching up is plant-based diets, because more and more bakeries are, adapting to vegan cuisine, or their menus are coming up with more and more vegan options using different dairy alternatives and mock meats, with more and more brands coming up like Urban Platter and Oatly. Some of the key things that I looked at while I was setting up the bread bar is finding my niche. So when I returned from working at France and Spain, I was really disappointed with the lack of, the options when it comes to good artisanal breads, or even like good sandwiches or a good cup of coffee. So that's why before I invested my money, I did a like good competitive market research and found out the USP that I would have before I opened up a cloud kitchen. Some advice that I would give, like the key elements that I would look for while setting up a concept like this was that like when you buy an equipment, think about the long run, because like today I have a very small team and I'm only making like stuff that I think will go in the same day. So maybe I'm making like six loaves of bread that I know will run out by the end of the day. But maybe like a month later, I know that I'm going to make like 12 loaves of bread that will definitely go. So that's why like I bought a 2 deck oven that I know would be useful maybe in the future, and like a 6 tray convection oven, which is a combi oven. So that in the future, if I want to incorporate meats or even like other cooking options, that I can use the combi oven. And I would completely agree with like Akshay and Shubhi that using the ingredients is the main thing, like fresh ingredients,
Exactly.
good quality ingredients, because like my whole like goal with the bread bar is to use like fresh local ingredients that are sourced like nearby through Mumbai or even like in India. So we don't use anything that's like imported or is from outside of India. So like even from like basic cheese that we get from Pondicherry or like hot sauce or anything like coffee beans, everything is sourced locally. So like it's important to use the freshest of ingredients that is better for your pocket as well, and it's better for your customer
Exactly.
because you're spending less but you're using the freshest ingredients and you're promoting local small businesses at the same time. Yeah.
That was really nice, Shubhi, Rachi. Thank you so
Thanks.
much for sharing your thoughts with us. So, going local is the
Yeah.
funda that you want to share with, and this will also reduce the cost for sourcing the materials if you are sourcing it from local market. Obviously, also increase the economy of the local market. So, it is helping you both ways. So, really nice. Thank you so much for that, and all the very best for your
Yeah.
concept.
Thank
At
you.
this moment of time, I would request any of the panelists if they have any additional points to add to the discussion or other questions that I asked to any of the panelists. So, if you have your own views, you can please share them. So, yes, Akshay.
Uh, yeah, Chef, thank you. I know there are a lot of things that I want to share. Is that nowadays people, they just feel that opening a bakery is something like it's not possible. There's a lot of money that is pumped in. There's a lot of money that goes behind the working of it. Chef, when I've done the working, I realized that even if you can raise a loan, if you can just raise a loan or you can borrow it from your family, the minimum basic investment of running a unit, what do you need? You need a basic rotary oven, you need a deck oven, you need a small prover, you need two machines and a sheeter and two batches of table. That's how you are set with a 600 to 700 square feet of kitchen. If you would check the rate, I don't know, there are rate differences in each and every city. But going ahead with this cost, the running the fixed cost will come out to be 30 to 35 lakhs. And then the slowly when you hire 7 to 8 people and handling a retail based and giving certain business to aggregators, and it's very important to have certain kind of a retail end, because in business the ultimate thing that you require is to make profit. How will you make profit? Is to have a regular cash coming in. The more the cash comes in, the better the products are. You revive the money. Rest of the industries, if you take the electronics industry, you take the steel industry, they're completely run on. I'm not sure about the steel industry, but electronic industry and other industries, packaging industry, they run on 60 days credit, 30 days credit. We have our businesses, we make a stock and sell it in the end. So why not take advantage of it? Make a small, make a small cash business, and then sell it, and just make profit out of it. It's a very simple thing. You can invest money being a home baker, motivate them, and you can come out of it very well. I would say you can come out of it, sir. That's what I would want to add. And I'm actually learned a lot from Shubhi ji and Rachi ji with what they have said. I completely agree with what all things they have said, and they're actually saying very good things about how you should use it, and it's very nice, very nice. Thank you.
Great.
Okay. Thank you.
So, we move to the common question now. I'm going to ask a common question. So, all three of you are invited to please share your views on the same. What were some of your memorable moments of being a pastry chef?
Chef, my
Can I take
memorable.
it?
Uh, we, ca- um, we can go in random manner. So, Akshay, would you mind should be going first?
Yeah, yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah,
I don't
please.
mind.
So,
As you say,
Thanks,
Chef.
Akshay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So I guess memorable moments for me are the festivals. Like honestly, there's the festivals because on festivals you're standing like you start work at say 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, and there is no coming back home time. Like there is no time, or whether it's to the hotels or anywhere. It's that craziness, it's that wildness that just hits in. You're like, yeah, you're okay working for like 20 hours, 15 hours because you just like it charges you up. Like your work, if you're passionate about it, it just charges you up. So for me, working around those festivals and everything, yeah, I know festivals like everybody wants to celebrate all the festivals. Yes, I get it. But that thing of being a pastry chef and being able to be part of someone else's celebration, but at the same time working with the entire team in full flow and being in that zone, I guess those are the memorable moments to me. And I think for a couple more passionate pastry chefs who work in heavy seasons.
great. Yes, Akshay, your views, please.
Chef, my memorable moment in a pastry lab was at Western Mumbai Garden City. I was working with, firstly, whenever, we enter a bakery kitchen, the only thing that you start from is pot wash. So I used to wash all utensils, I used to make them teas, and slowly, because you are an amateur and you need to learn their work. And now those guys, they don't teach you unless and until you wash, yeah, their utensils. So I used to wash their utensils. I remember my shift used to start at 1 p.m. at Western Mumbai, and there was only incoming time. There was no outgoing time. It is chef's call. He'll decide you at 12. So you have to be at 12 and you cannot go out. So,
Yeah.
I used to remember chef used to, for 20 days, he used to only make me clean the cold room, make me clean the tables, wash all the boxes of calcium and everything, and clean beta maida katta katta leke aa wahan se. I used to take those maida kattas on my back and take it from one floor to another floor. And then I realized when you do that and when you win their confidence, then I remember chef told me one fine day कि बेटा तेरे को काम सीखना है ना. मैंने बोला हाँ शेफ. तेरे को ये ब्रेड सीखनी है? हाँ शेफ. सुबह 6 बजे आ जा. मैंने बोला शेफ 6 से रात के 1. तो मैंने बोला तेरे को काम सीखना है. So actually I used to go from 4:30 from Mandheri where my house was. I used to go to Goregaon at 6 to learn from. That's the place where he taught me how to break a good egg, what all things you should avoid. So these small things I did it for almost a month. I have to get into it, so that the more you get into it, the more how is that production. By the 15-20 days I was so happy with this that I used to do everything on my own. And I remember like a very bare memory, chef Shraddha, who was a commie one at Western Mumbai. She used to just pinpoint the address. So she used to say creme brulee prego Akshay, banquet cheesecake 300 packs Akshay. So I used to end up making everything for them. And I realized that and when you start working so hard for them, they don't give you offs. So that was a memorable day, working 60 days, you have no offs. So Chef, I would actually say that opportunity was one memorable thing that I learned, that life में आपको अंदर घुस के सीखना पड़ेगा. जब तक के आप 100% नहीं दोगे, वो आपको नहीं सिखाएंगे. ये मेरा लर्निंग है शेफ मारवाड़. आई हैव लर्नड अ लॉट फ्रॉम यू. यू आर माय आइडल. शेफ काइनास मेसमिन, chef Nicola, so many chefs, indefinite times, who have gone under the grill and they've done this. So this is, I know there are many things, but I would want other panelists to share and to do it. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Akshay. Yes, Rachi, your
Yes.
moment.
Yes. So I was interning at PR Home in Paris, and like most of us, my French was like broken French, and so the people were really rude. So they used to give me very bare minimum of work to do, not treat me well. So like I stuck around, I did all my work, and like slowly they started giving me more responsibility. Then they started giving me, then I like giving me more responsibility, letting me finish the entire product And then when I saw that, my products are going on the counter outside and customers are coming and buying it and are like buying more of it, that was like that. Those are the times that are my fondest memories, that, like finally something that I've made has gone out. And those are obviously internship days, so it was a good memory.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing your moments. Now, I would like to ask the audience if you have any questions, please share with us. Okay, we have a question. Will we be able to get a exact taste, texture, or quality if we use local products? So,
Can I take it?
yes, please.
Yes. So, hi Abhishek. Yes, of course, because you need to understand something, that your clientele is has grown up eating those products. They are accustomed, their palate is accustomed to those products. So if you use the local products, A, the freshness will be there. B, your textures will always be great, because there is not much storage of products, or letting the product stay out for long, or travel, or anything like that, because it's made there. It gets to you, you make it, the customer gets it. So the cycle and they're like basically you're canceling onto a lot of middlemen in this process, which is a good thing. And at the same time, quality is going to be amazing. Why? Because your customers will appreciate you using local products. Simply because it goes back to your own economy, and most importantly, they've grown up eating those same things. So I guess that also helps you, and also with the kind of weather conditions you have and the kind of products and everything we make, it is best to use local, because you realize if though, like for example, butter. So like in this case in India, we use Amul butter at the and in the maximum possible manner. So while Amul butter is much better than any other butter, because it has survived all the tests of the time that India, or all the climatic conditions and all the people of India have given it to it. So I guess that is a good butter to start with. So just an example that yes, local products are a big yes for everything that you use in your bakery. Thank you.
Yes, your views, Rashi,
Yes, I
Akshay.
definitely agree with Shubhi, because when we were trying out croissants in our oven, like in the bakery, so while laminating the dough, we definitely found Amul was the best compared to any other dough, because of the climatic conditions and humidity that we have in like Mumbai especially. So Amul was the best butter. Like we used Presidents, we used Elin dry butter, everything.
Yeah.
Nothing worked better than Amul here.
Okay.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
What I would actually want to say about this is, it actually depends upon the brand. Like for an example, if you're using, if you're making a bread, you need a gluten and improver. So what I would
Mm.
personally say, make a company where you get a good gluten is Calpro, improver Calpro. So once you have those brands locally available, you can buy them. I
Yeah,
would
very
say
true. Very true.
it's
Very
not
true.
going for a local, it's about going for a brand and that's locally available. I would frame it in that way, Chef Marwan.
All right.
Local, I am saying local Amul is also available, but I personally feel no, Ellenware dry butter, Ellenware dry butter. No matter it's available outside India also, you have to buy it. That's what I would say. So it depends. It depends on the brand and what that brand has been manufacturing since years. Like Calpro has been into the bread business since years. Owens, Arun Rega has been into the business since years. Sinmag has been into years. So these, it depends on what they are offering. That's what is my belief. Yeah.
Well, that was a great answer. Thank you so much, panelists. And we have one more question. So, if you could have that on the screen. What advice will you give to the aspiring patisserie artists? What should be on their learning agenda for the next 12 to 24 months? Yes, Akshay.
Chef, the advice that you should give to the young pastry chefs or the pastry artist is, I believe, never lose the basics of it.
Yeah.
Even I remember this, if you're making a tart, make sure that you make a beautiful tart. If you're making a cheesecake, make sure that you make a beautiful cheesecake and a basic one. Don't go for fancy fondant and everything, those those materials that are using using those, making those silver balls, putting that silver ball that takes around 3 hours to make 1 kg cake. With the 3 hours you can make 155 cakes and make more money. That's how it is. Like, you should actually concentrate on the basic, and then you should learn that you're not only the one who's making it. It's not all about making it. You can make 24 types of Caesar salad, you can make 24 types of pineapple pastry, you can make so many varieties of this, that. Making something basic so that everyone likes it and knows. And you should also know the cost factor. ये material कहाँ से आता है, how much does it cost, what is the thing, what all ingredient goes in, how you can source them, reading out your financial statements. And that's not about pastry arts, but you should know the money factor, because there's a lot of things that goes behind the scene that you should be worried about, that you should know, that it's not only in the kitchen, it's about outside the kitchen. And learning agenda for the 12 to 24 months is that just get into it. I would say it's not you go to the fanciest institute, you go to Le Cordon Bleu, London, you go to any other institute. Unless you put your heart into learning, you won't get anything out of it. If you want, anyone can spend 2 crores, go to CIA, Culinary Institute of America, come back. And it's just that, if you're not into the course, then what are you? I would say you get into it, slowly mold into it with what you want to become, and slowly things will work out once you give an effort, chef. Slowly things will work out. It's just giving an effort. Once you give an effort, you like it, you'll do it for years. That's what is my thinking, sir. So this is the
Great.
advice that I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshay. Yes, Shubhi, do you have any inputs?
Yes, yes. So for aspiring patisserie artists, I have one thing to say. Don't think of what will happen or what do you want to be. Think about where you are right now and what all you can get from the current scenario. Where all you can get your hands on to all the available sources to you. Whether it is doing a marketing analysis, whether doing research and development for something, or it is understanding about the strategies of a couple of other things that you're interested in, or understanding the absolute basics of everything. So it's the basics of everything that will help you succeed. Like till date, if you don't know the types of say creams you have, and you start with saying no, this chef did this and I want to do this, and I'll immediately jump onto that. No, okay, you might survive for a day or two, but you cannot survive in the longer run. Focusing on your basics, studying your market, understanding what you want, what you like. So you basically start with what you don't like. That is much easier in life. So once you decide what you don't like, it's very easy for you to understand what you like, what your style is, having your own style at the end of the day, and finding a right balance for yourself. I-
Great. So sticking to basics again is very important. Rachi, what are your views?
I would say that we should I would advise them to respect the ingredients they're working with, because that's very important nowadays. Like we don't respect the produce we have, or we don't respect that the ingredients. I've seen a lot of interns and all, they just throw anything in the dustbin even without realizing
Yeah,
from where it comes, or how much effort goes into something so small. And also, I would say that, like Shubhi and Akshay highlighted, stick to your basics, keep wanting to learn more. Because
yeah,
unless and until you have that energy in you, you're not going to go anywhere.
if you don't have that
Great.
hunger, for sure.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I completely agree. Hunger
Yeah.
is very important to learn.
Yes.
Very important. You should actually
Great.
know how does an egg break. You should actually
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that how much does an egg cost. How you should know how much, what is a gram of, what is the total weight of an egg. What are we doing with the remaining egg whites? How many meringues do you need to make? Because it's very easy to put everything in a dustbin. It's not allowed. The dustbin is not there to throw away the raw material. you
Exactly.
it's heavily paid. It's financially, if you would see, you purchase, you hold your stock, you hold your money into that stock. So you have to respect those things. So that's what is my thing, what I would want to contribute. Yeah.
Great. So that was our last question, and we have come to the end of our panel discussion. I would like to thank all our panelists for their valuable time and inputs, our audience for their participation, and for being with us till the end. Thank you so much, guys. We will be back again next week with another enriching Thursday talks. Till then, stay safe, stay strong. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye. It was lovely here.
you.
Bye.
Lovely.
Take care.
Bye.